Hey YouTube, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to my second video about the new super nice, super cool ROCHobby Katana 1/18 crawler with the Toyota Land Cruiser LC80 or 70 hardbody, beautiful body. In this video I will take a closer look to this truck and I will take the body off and check if the body can be disassembled, check the electronics, axles, and I will compare it to the CR-18 from Hobby Plus, and we will see if the Katana is worth the surcharge, because it's quite a little bit more expensive than the Hobby Plus one, also with a Toyota Land Cruiser style body but made out of Lexan. I will compare the hardware of those two trucks, if it's nearly the same or if there are some differences, and I will make initially a short run test to compare the both in absolutely stock form. So which one does have the better driving performance? The CR-18 is much lighter than the Katana. I will check the weight later. First, let's start what you get and how they come. And the Katana comes in this super cool packing as we are used from ROCHobby and FMS models. So foam box, extremely secure packing, cardboard box, and further cardboard box with information and quite pretty design. We know this design already. We know it from the Atlas 6x6, exactly the same design by FMS models, but people say that's also made by ROCHobby. I don't know the differences between those companies. And of course we know it from the beautiful, awesome and absolutely fantastic ROCHobby's Willys Jeep in 1/6. That's such an awesome car. And while the Katana comes super securely packed, the CR-18 comes in this simple box, so by far not that well secured. Normally no problem, but if you get shipments from China or somewhere else, better packing could be a plus. But now let's remove the boxes and take a closer look to the Katana and also to the CR-18. What else do we get with the cars? The radio is exactly the same radio, only a different labeling. This radio is the Turbo Racing 91803G VT radio. It's a 3-channel radio and it comes from a lot of brands. That's labeled ROCHobby. It comes also with the Willys Jeep. It comes labeled FMS models with the Atlas 6x6. That's FMS2. That comes with the CR-18 and the CR-24 labeled as AMEVI. It comes with AMEVI. Turbo Racing, I don't know where I do have this. And I also have a blue and a white one. They are also Turbo Racing, but they are labeled Hobby Porter, and you can buy them as Carson and whatever. Those are nice little 3-channel radios. They are GT crawlers. The small ones come with similar radios, but they do have knobs here, which is the by far worse solution than those push buttons. And all those radios work with all the receiver ESC units of the small cars and also with the large 4-channel receivers, so that's on par. The Katana comes with hex wrench, bind plug, USB charger and a small screwdriver, and the CR-18 comes with exactly the same stuff, and additionally with harder springs for the shocks. I did not get harder springs with my Katana, and of course both come with a manual the manual of the Katana is more detailed. I did already show it to you in the first video. Since the Katana does come with a hard body, it's of course much heavier than the CR-18 with the Lexan body, so let's check the weight. That's the weight including battery. Battery is inside. The Katana does have 495 grams, so about half a kilogram. And the CR-18, also including battery, does have 308 grams only. So it's significantly lighter, 300 to 500 gram. The Katana is nearly 200 grams heavier than the CR-18. And this probably will strongly affect driving performance. I will make driving tests first now, and then I will disassemble the cars and disassemble the Katana, take the body off. Body looks quite similar, but there's one big difference, that's the motor. The CR-18 has this tiny motor, the same as the CR-24, and the Katana has the much larger motor, which also comes with the Atlas 6x6, and the Katana only does have a 3-link front suspension and a Panhard bar, while the CR-18 does have 4-link, and there is no room for the larger motor. And it's easy to make drive tests because both will work with the same radio. And I did already bind both cars to this radio. Katana works, and CR-18 works too. So let's do a short test drive and see which one performs better, the super heavy Katana or the much lighter, nearly 200 gram lighter CR-18. Cars controlled by one transmitter. And you see the CR-18 has a significantly better steering angle than the Katana. To the left it seems about to be the same, but to the right the CR-18 has a better steering angle. Let's see start up with no load. I try to start as slow as possible, and the CR-18 starts significantly faster than the Katana. Now let's start as slow as possible. The CR-18 starts significantly faster than the Katana. In both directions, reverse and forward. So that's the slowest speed the CR-18 can go. No. And now let's check the slowest speed the katana can go. The CR-18 seems to have a slightly smoother startup behavior, probably also because it's much lighter. Full speed. CR-18 is faster. Easy 45-degree incline and a little step. So the katana doesn't even climb 45 degrees. And the bumper of the CR-18. Wow. Start with the katana. No chance. No chance. Katana, 45 degrees too much. CR-18 with a large front bumper. CR-18 does 45 degrees. So that's a little bit disappointing. Of course, the body of the katana is much heavier, but it's impossible to climb 45 degrees. And now it's only 39-40 degrees. Seems already to have problems here. Good. So now we are on 40 degree. It does climb 40 degree. Drag brake is good. Drag brake is good. Drag brake is good. Let's try 42 degrees. It will climb 42 degrees. Wow, that's quite okay now. Now we are at 44 degrees. Now it does also do 44 degrees. What's up, katana? Then let's try 45 again. What was the problem before? Ah, the problem is 45 degrees. So 44 degrees is the maximum the katana can climb, and the CR-18 rolls over. CR-18 has problems with its bumper, but will climb 45 degrees. And now we are at 46 degrees. CR-18, can you do this? Also 46 degrees CR-18. 49 degrees CR-18. No. We need something about 47 degrees. 47 degrees CR-18. So that seems to be too much. No, 47 degrees, CR-18, good. So 47 degrees maximum for the CR-18 in stock. So drive tests showed what we could expect. The super light CR-18, even if it has the much smaller and probably weaker motor, clearly one could climb steeper inclines, 47 degrees. The Katana made 45 degrees with problems. Starts up earlier than the red Katana, is faster, slow driving performance is about the same. I don't know what happens now. Oh, this. Okay, that's interesting. The much heavier Katana with the much stronger motor does not seem to be really stronger. So that's on par. Wow, I would have thought this heavy truck would have pushed this much lighter one away. Tires seem to be the same. However, this is par. And now let's take the bodies off and take a look inside. Bodies off. It's only 4 screws to remove the body of the Katana. 2 in this position and 2 here in front. 4 small screws, but you will have to unplug quite a lot of plugs here under the hood. They made this awesome, in my opinion. Here you have a female and a male servo plug, and the servo has to be plugged into this female plug, and that's also for the turning light signal. And this male, is it male, female? This normal servo plug has to be plugged into the receiver, and here is a further servo plug. This has to be plugged in this plug and is channel 3 and controls light on off. So that's awesome. This receiver ESC unit does also have a on-off switch for the lights. I wonder if the Atlas 6x6 and all the others that come with those units do have this 3rd channel possibility too. Normally they do come, as the CR-80 does here, with 2 tiny plugs for lights or FPV, but they are not switchable, so the receiver unit is probably a better one than in the CR-18. They do not feel I don't feel a lot of difference in weight in the frames, so it's probably only the body that makes the main part. Let's check the body weight. The Lexan body of the CR-18 without body posts does have 49 grams, so less than 50 grams. And the super heavy hard body with all the lights inside of the Katana without screws are part of the frame here, does have 236 grams. So that's nearly all of the difference in weight. It's only the body. Wow, only the body weighs about half of this truck. That's a lot. And frames without battery, that's the Katana, 231 grams, and the Hobby Plus, come on, 231 grams, so exactly the same weight. The only difference is the body, but that's why we pay the surcharge for the Katana compared to the CR-18. Batteries seem to be exactly the same, 7.4 volts, 600 milliamp hours. This one is from the Hobby Plus, different labeled Hobby Plus, and from the Katana seems to be exactly the same battery that comes with the Atlas 6x6, 27 grams, and I didn't take a look, what was this? 27 grams, so probably exactly the same batteries. Wheelbase is exactly the same, it's 15.5 centimeters, 155 millimeters, inch, I don't know, sorry guys. But the Katana does have all the electronics far more in front, what should normally be an advantage in climbing. And also the battery sits in front, while in the CR-18 the battery sits here on the back side, and the electronics are not that far in front. You see the Katana does have the much larger motor, this RGT motor that you can buy separately, probably exactly the same as the motor coming with the Atlas 6x6, while the CR-18 has this tiny motor, also CR-24s do come with, and the reason why it's so difficult to upgrade this is the gearbox does not have openings for the screws of this motor. They are on the opposite direction and you can't simply turn the motor, and the larger motor is not possible because the CR-18 does have 4-link suspension, as you can see here, and the motor couldn't be much longer, and therefore they changed the gearbox in the Katana. Probably it's the same gearbox as in the Atlas 6x6, check my video there, with some kind of strange additional openings to mount the motor in opposite direction, and it does have a Panhard bar. Can you see the Panhard bar? I hope you can see it. So here is the servo linkage and the Panhard bar in parallel. Servos are 3-wire servos in both. Probably the same servos. The CR-18 does come with a black servo arm, which is for sure nicer than the white servo arm in the Katana. Shocks seem to be, unfortunately, exactly the same, but black is more beautiful. But the CR-18 comes with additional harder springs. So let's take a quick look inside the axles and check if there is any difference. I am quite sure it's the same as in all those models. Plastic gears, I did already see there are bushings and no ball bearings, and there won't be a lot of difference probably, but let's take a look. Let's start with wheels and tires. Both Hobby Plus and Katana do come with nice beadlock wheels. However, beadlock wheels are not the same type. The Katana does have 5 screws, the Hobby Plus only 4 screws, and the rims of the Katana are larger than the rims of the Hobby Plus. The Hobby Plus comes with the same rims that do come with the 1/24 crawlers, and it only has larger tires, so the rim diameter is 25 millimeter for you. Yes, about those are 1-inch tires, and that's about 30 millimeters. That's 1.4 inch or whatever. However, the tires seem to be exactly the same size, so there is no difference. Tire of the Katana, tire of the Hobby Plus. They are also labeled 19.2 by 13.5 by 36. Terra set, and the tires of the Hobby Plus are not labeled, so about 55 millimeters tire diameter and width about 2 centimeters, and the Hobby Plus on the left side a little bit less, maybe 18 mil, and the Katana 19-20 mil, but exactly the same tire diameter. So the tires of the Katana do look better, of course. They look really nice scale. However, those tires are not bad of the CR-18. Both do come without any foams, so there's again a lot of room for upgrade, custom foams and wheel weights. Put the wheel weights on those in inner rings or in those slits, slots. But the winner is clearly the tire of the Katana. So tires assembled again. What I forgot, the tires of the Katana, those ones are directional, while the tires of the CR-18 are symmetrical. Let's take a look at the shocks, and here we have a problem again. That's a shock of the CR-18. I wanted to take off a shock of the Katana, and I had the same problem as I had in the Atlas 6x6. Maybe you've seen my video. I tried to unscrew this shock. It's impossible. I probably would break this screw again, so I will not take them off now. But there is no difference in shocks. So those are clearly exactly the same shocks. Come on. Only different color. And springs are different. And the CR-18 comes with a harder set of springs. The Katana shocks are already much harder. So there's a lot of potential for upgrades. And the frame, that's made out of metal, and it's exactly the same frame. You can even see the openings in the Katana frame. This here is the Katana, which are not used. Those are used for the side steps in the CR-18. So they used nearly the same frame for those two models. There are some differences. What you can see, the red shocks, that's the CR-18 frame, the black shocks, the Katana frame. The shock mounts are much higher in the CR-18 to mount the body posts, and there are additional holes here in the CR-18 frame. Furthermore, yeah, there is an additional hole here in the CR-18 frame. So CR-18 frame does have more openings for screws. The Katana does have some here which are not used, but those here are missing, and the shock mounts in the Katana are much lower than those in the CR-18 frame. And I did take off the rear axles, which are exactly the same. Take a look, exactly the same shape, same screws, same system. Unfortunately, bushings, no ball bearings, not lubricated at all, so the rear axles could be exchanged easily, but there is a difference in the drive shafts. So the drive shaft of the CR-18, that's this one, does have a little different color. The drive shaft of the Katana is more shiny, and what's more important, it's a different shape, it's more sturdy probably. A little bit larger, and if we take a look at the counterpart, here and here, you can see that's the Katana drive shaft, that's the CR-18 drive shaft. The Katana drive shaft seems to be sturdier, a little bit larger, a little bit, yeah, significantly larger. The front axles are exactly the same too. Here the axle of the CR-18, and here of the Katana. Same system. I won't take them off, probably exactly the same as in the Atlas 6x6 and even in the small CR-24s. We only have shorter end parts here, but there is one difference. I already told you the Katana does have a Panhard bar, what sits here. Hard to see. And the CR-18 does not, but that's not true. I found now I didn't take such a close look to it. The CR-18 does also come with a Panhard bar. Hope you can see it here. So exactly the same system as the Katana has. Panhard bar and additionally 4-link mount. So you could easily take off one of those links probably and mount a larger motor as it is in the Katana. So let's take a look at those links. And now go to the Katana and see the upper link is missing here, and here is the larger motor of the Katana. So probably this would be an option. I don't know why the CR-18 comes with 4 links and Panhard bar. However, it does have a little bit better steering angle in one direction than the Katana. The central transmission I won't take apart now because that's absolutely the same in all those tiny cars, even the CR-24s. It's the same transmission. The Katana does only have really stronger drive shafts. And are those end parts even metal? No. No. Plastic with metal knuckles. The CR-24s did come with plastic. For those cross members, at least the first batches. My first one did come with plastic cross members which easily broke. And inside here, take a look at my Atlas 6x6 disassembling video. It's probably exactly the same. Even the receiver unit does look the same, but the Katana, this one, does have a third channel for switching on-off lights. That's super interesting because I would love to be able to do this in the units of the CR-18 and of the Atlas 6x6 too, but probably it's not possible. They do have two small wires with plugs for lights or an FPV camera, but they are not switchable by the radio. So that's it so far with the frame. Nothing new, nothing really new, only more sturdier drive shafts in the Katana, but not really an upgrade. Nicer tires, okay. And now let's take a look at the body, a real close look to the body, and to try to disassemble it and see what driver figures will fit. Let's do it. Now check this out, guys. The interior and the body. It's absolutely awesome. So many screws, so much hardware, and so heavy and so well made. Check the interior, super nice. 3.75 inch figures fit nearly perfectly. You'll probably only have to take off the feet or cut a little bit. I will try it later. Indiana Jones sleeping on the back seat. Indiana Jones figure and perfect driver. Will Smith. I guess this will be my driver. Awesome inner fenders. Have you seen inner fenders in a 1/18 car? Absolutely stunning. Nice steering wheel, and if you take off the feet, that's the same figure or a similar figure to this one. That's now the driver of my Atlas 6x6. So take out the feet and will fit without any cutting. They are so hard to take out. I have to heat them before. Probably Will Smith. Oh, Will Smith doesn't have separate feet, so there will an operation be necessary. However, cool. Nice seats, super nice interior. Check the dashboard, even with a super detailed sticker. I don't know if you can see this on camera. Does light help? Super nice. Steering wheel simply clipped in, and everything is mounted by hardware. So the whole interior is only mounted by 6 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you can take off everything. Side pedals, screws. Front seat, screws. Back seat, screws. So perfect for painting. Even screws in the backside of the seats, so this will be easy and super nice to paint. It's only a pity that the car doesn't have opening doors, what would have been even nicer then. However, wow, wow, wow. Dashboard, wow, wow, wow. And now comes the best part. The ladder and this clamp here, which also holds the frame, are even additionally mounted with nut screws. And everything inside screwed. So you can take off the windows easily. I won't do this now, wouldn't know why. You can take off those clamps. Light buckets can be taken off, and that's really nicely made. The wiring, awesome. And even the mirrors are mounted by tiny screws. Only the windshield wipers seem to be only glued. That's no screw here and no screw here. But the mirrors are mounted with screws. The hinge for the opening hood, front grille, lights, light buckets, everything can be taken off. So if you plan to do a paint job, this will not be a big problem to disassemble this awesome and super heavy body. Hood is held by 2 magnets. 1, 2. Yeah, wiring is awesome. Roof rack, of course, mounted with screws. And even a back window heating system is sticked to the rear window. Of course, you can take off the spare wheel, fully functional spare wheel, license plate, California, Toyota California, okay, 5 Rock 118. So absolutely awesome, super, super, super nice. I love it, but it's super heavy, so it's not for performance, but it's really awesome for the look. Room for 4 LEDs for the light bar. Clear window. Really, really awesome. Okay. Let's assemble it again. So assemble the body again, no problem. A lot of mess with the wiring here under the hood, but they do have some clips here for securing the wires, so everything fine, I thought. Yes. What do you think? I think it's absolutely awesome. The body, wow, wow, wow. Driver figures will fit, easy to paint the body if you want. Only hardware. The only thing that's not mounted by screws, I think, are the 2 windshield wipers, even the mirrors. Fantastic, but super heavy, and therefore performance will not be as good as in a light truck as this one. So we come to the end of this video, and some people asked here on YouTube and also in forums to compare the size to other trucks. Everyone knows, to 1/10 trucks, to WPL trucks, to other trucks. Okay, that's 1/18. That's much smaller. I made a picture. You see it now where it's sitting on a 1/10 Land Rover D90, those ones with 279 or 275 millimeter wheelbase, side one of those small 2-door Jeeps and a MN90, So you see it's significantly smaller. Larger 1/10 bodies are much larger. Check this out. That's a 313 millimeter Proline SR5 body. So that's a toy truck compared to the SR5. And people always want to see the side of WPL or MN trucks. So here, that's the C34, and that's much larger. Or here, that's a JJ RC Q65 front body, which will be turned into a mud truck somewhere. Totally different size, much larger. So the Katana is totally different scale. You can compare it to the tiny ones, CR-24s, the 1/24. That's a body I'm modifying for more than a year now. So you see, those are much smaller, won't fit either. There are 1/18 trucks that are the same size, but there are not so many. Of course, the new awesome Atlas 6x6. Awesome truck. I love it. Maybe the Mini C 4x4 Suzuki. It's 1/18 or 1/19 too, but it seems a little bit small. And then there are the RC 4-wheel drive 1/18 trucks. Let's check those. The D90, this could be matching size. The Bronco, I don't know, Broncos are not that popular here in Europe. They are cool, but you won't see so many on our streets. Are there Broncos that are that small? Probably. I always thought those are huge cars, huge trucks. Very bad for environment. So those are 1/18 trucks. The best fitting truck probably is the CR-18. And the Katana seems to be expensive, but compared to those guys, they are still 4-wheel drive ones, and their price in Europe, it's super cheap. And the electronics of the Katana are 1000 times better. And also the Mini C 4x4, at least here in Europe, it's far more expensive than the Katana, so I wouldn't complain about the price. But honestly, if I would have to choose between this one and that one, I'll probably take that one because it's so much fun. This one is so beautiful. It's on you to choose. And it's on you to decide if it's worth the 20-30 bucks price more than the CR-18. The body is awesome, performance is poor, but if you're a scale guy, you will for sure take the phenomenal ROCHobby Katana and not the Hobby Plus CR-18. And if you are only for crawling and for having fun, you'll probably take the CR-18 and make some mods, foams, wheel weights, and this will probably be an awesome crawler. However, it has a tiny motor. It was a big surprise that it performed that well. And if you love Mini C, you will buy the Mini Cs. And if you have too much money, you will buy RC 4-wheel drive. It's on you to decide. I love in their way all of those trucks. And you know, one can never have enough trucks. Space is the only limit. So that's it for this video. Opa. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next video. I'll be